Hey, game designers. In this video, we're going to cover a pretty complicated lesson, and that's how to add in our own menu system in Splash Screen. So as you can see here, we have these 5 files. One of the files is a how-to doc that will help you guide you if you are having trouble. But if you have this video, it should be relatively easy. Now, this video you see here, it's not my video, but it's the video that I use to help create this lesson. But obviously, if you're listening to this video will do just fine. So let's go ahead and download these 3 right here. We're going to right click and we're going to go ahead and open this one in a new tab. We're going to open this one in a new tab, and we're going to open this one in a new tab. And I believe for this one, we also need to download a script. Let's go ahead and download the images first. We're over here. So we're going to click on download to download this image. We're going to look at a sample UI. So we're going to use this to kind of be our placeholder for our actual UI. And then we have our Fedora brand. So let's go ahead and download this logo as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our Google Classroom. And I believe there is something we do need to download from our Unity folder. So let's go to the links to Unity scripts. Let's go ahead and open the folder. And it looks like I am correct. There is, looks like a couple of scripts that we can download. I believe we have a start next scene. So let's go ahead and, actually no, this one was created for a student. So I believe it's my menu script. So let's go ahead and right click on this one. Let's go ahead and click on this. And we're going to go ahead and click download. Okay. And download that script. Make sure, again, if your script is not downloaded for the first time, it will have parentheses. And when you import it, make sure you rename it. So let's go ahead and go into our Unity here. And for this example, it's actually best to create a brand new scene. So let's go ahead and make a organization folder here. We're going to go ahead and go into the My Assets folder. We're going to right click and we're going to create a folder. And we're going to call this one My Scene. And we're going to double click into My Scene folder here. And we're going to go ahead and right click, go to create. And there's actually a place where you can create a scene. So we're just going to click on a scene right here. And let's just call it My Menu Scene. Okay. Okay, so now that we have the scene, let's go and double click on it, and it should open up literally a blank scene. So you should not see anything at all. So we're going to start first by going and click on the hierarchy window here, and we're going to add ourselves a canvas and a panel. So we're going to go right click here, we're going to go to UI, and we're going to add a panel. So when you add a panel, it automatically adds a canvas. So let's go ahead and double click on the panel so we can center ourselves. So this is our panel, and the panel gets automatically added to a canvas. Okay, we're going to replace the source image. So you can see here that we have a background image here. We're going to go ahead and replace this. So I'm going to go ahead and drag in, import all the stuff that we just created for this menu. So we're going to go into the downloads folder, and we're going to go ahead and click on the logo, the sample UI, and the splash art. Okay, actually we're going to import this My Menu thing too. So just go ahead and hold Shift or hold Control and select all 4 files. Let's go ahead and import all those right now. Okay, so the most important one is the script. Make sure that you rename it properly so that when we import it, we'll immediately rename it to My Menu Script so that it is ready for use when it is time to use it. Okay, so let's go back to our panel here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and replace the source image with the one from here. So we're going to take this right here and drag this over here. So now you see our background that we have put in. You can see here that there is a transparency option. So you could increase the alpha or decrease the alpha. So this is a menu scene, so it's usually a little bit faded. So I'm just going to leave it around 100 or so. Okay, so this is kind of like the backdrop for our menu here. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is make sure that our splash that we just downloaded is inside of Sprite Sprite 2D in UI mode. And this is true for all of our images. Make sure that it's in the texture type 2D in UI mode. And it looks like all of them are, so that's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the canvas now. And we're going to add a few more things. We're going to right click. We're going to go to UI. And we're going to go ahead and add a Text Mesh Pro. So Text Mesh Pro is right here. And make sure that this is correct. We're going to add a UI Text Mesh Pro. And we're going to do it actually with a button. So make sure that you click on the button one so that it has a Text Mesh Pro automatically added. So we see here, and we're going to go ahead and rename it since it's already highlighted. We're going to call this the play button. Okay, and the play button right now will have a text associated with it. So we'll change that in a minute. So let's go ahead and change some of the settings that we need to start here. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the font size. Let's see if that's an option here. Nope, it's the option over here. So we're going to go over here. And we can adjust the font size. So what size we want to make it. I'm going to go ahead and change this word to play game. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and see that our text is not showing up. So we need to actually click on a font asset. So go ahead and click on font asset. Go ahead and click on Mr. Pixel right here. Okay, and let's see now if our button shows up. So we can zoom in right here, and I don't exactly see our button quite yet. So let's see if we could change some of the settings so that we can't see our button show up here. So let's go to adjust alignment. Let's go ahead and center this thing. So it is centered vertically and horizontally. There it is. So it looks like I just need to click some stuff and it updated, and now we actually see our play button. Okay, so some options, you could add some underlay with shadows, and you can add some gradient, but we're just going to keep it a simple play button like so. Okay, so let's go and just click on the color. You can see here that it uses black text, and our button itself uses a white background. Now you could switch that around. You could use, black buttons and white text. Just make sure that it has contrast. So let's go ahead and hit play and see if this button appears on our screen. Okay, and it does. You can click on it. It is interactable. So it does work. All right, so let's go ahead and increase the size of our button here. So I'm going to click on the button itself and change the size of it. So let's go ahead and use our move widgets here. And let's see if we can resize the button. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the button right now, and I can increase the size. So let's see how it makes sense in terms of our canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and enlarge it much more than this. So let's go ahead and increase it really large here. And I'm going to go back to my text, and let's go ahead and increase the font size to 48. Looks like I can fit even bigger. Let's go 64. Okay, so that looks good now that we have a button that's large enough. So let's make sure that this is anchored correctly. So I'm going to click on the text, and you click on this right here. You can see that it's anchored correctly. You can hold Shift and select this button right here. So it will always be centered and to the parent, which is the button. So the text, again, is now centered to the button. And now we have a play button. Okay. So let's go ahead and look for the button's interactiveness. So again, these are the settings. The normal color is this alpha. The highlighted color is this alpha. The pressed color is this alpha. And the selected color is this alpha. So let's go ahead and just make sure that the alpha is normal. The highlighted is full. So let's kind of go normal. Let's make it like a little bit lower. So I'm going to go like halfway here. So half of 255 is 128 roughly. So when the button is normal, it looks like that. When you highlight over it, it's goes up to, I don't know, let's just go up to 200. And then when you select it, it goes to full, and then disabled is not something that we usually take care about. So let's go ahead and look play now. So you can see the difference. See the buttons like that, and now you can see that I highlight over it, and then when I click it, it turns even a brighter color. Okay, so that's good for interactiveness here for the buttons. You can also see that when we hit the game mode, there's a blue tint on this. Let's go ahead and actually fix that. I think that's under the panel button here, or the canvas. I believe it's one of these settings. Let's go and take a really quick look and see if we could just kind of clean up that that color. So let's say if I go to full alpha, I don't think that matters. I think it's something to do with like material or something. Should be no materials. So I don't know exactly what's causing that kind of blue color. I know it's somewhere inside either the panel or the canvas here. And I know there's ability to change it. I don't remember quite which one it is. Let's see if we can just find it another real quickly. I'm not going to waste too much time if I can't find it. Let's just go to material, go to none. It's already none. I don't see the settings. Let's go maybe one more time to see if we can check in canvas. Anything here that looks like we can change that blue color that gets created here. And I don't see anything quite yet. Okay, well maybe we'll run into it later and fix it. But there is that blue screen. I don't remember how to probably change it a little bit later. All right, so let's go ahead and continue to do this. So now we're going to go ahead and duplicate this and make a controls button. So we're going to go ahead and right-click on the play button here. We're going to duplicate. And now we have a second button. Let's go ahead and rename this button real quickly. I'm not going to rename it controls button. Okay, and controls button here. And then we're going to go ahead and add one more. We're going to go ahead and duplicate. And we're going to call it the exit button or something. So we're going to rename this one the exit button. Okay, so we should have a play button, a control button, and a exit button here. So let's go ahead and move our other button downward. So that's going to be our controls button. And then our exit button. And we're going to move that down here as well. Okay, let's take a look and see how it's aligned. It looks okay. All right, let's go ahead and change the text real quickly. We're going to go to controls button, go to text, and we're just going to simply change this to controls. I'm going to go to the exit button, and let's go ahead and click on the text and change that to exit. Okay. So we have a canvas here that we're going to call the main menu canvas. So let's go ahead and rename this real quickly. So this is our main menu canvas. And how the controls work is basically another panel, right? When you click on the controls button, it's supposed to open another panel that looks pretty much like this. So we're going to go ahead and copy this entire main canvas. And we're going to go ahead and duplicate that. And this one, we're going to call it controls. So this is going to be our controls canvas here. Okay. So now we got a controls canvas, and inside of the control one, we don't need all these buttons. All we really need is an exit button here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the play button and delete the controls button. And the only button we need is the exit button and our return. We want to call it the return button here. We're going to rename this. And we're just going to call it return to main menu. Let's go ahead and click on the text, and we're going to call this return to main menu. All right, and we're going to go ahead and move the button over here somewhere. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's go ahead and click on this one and move that. And I'll probably put it somewhere on the bottom. All right, so what we're going to do is go ahead and change this image. So this control one, so let me go ahead and turn this one off real quickly, the main menu one. And the controls canvas, we're going to go ahead and go to the panel and replace this panel with our sample UI. So we're going to go here, right? It's going to look something like this. And I guess we can move the button now to somewhere it makes more sense. I guess I'll just put it over here. I don't know. This isn't exactly designed for our purposes. We're just using it as a placeholder here. So I'm just going to put it right here on the lower right where it makes the most sense. Okay. So now we have this this menu canvas that simply just shows the controllers. And then we have this main menu canvas that allows us to go into controller, start the game, or exit the game. So now it's the time to go ahead and add in our script. We're going to go to the main menu canvas right here. And we're going to add a component here. So we're going to click on Add Component, and we're going to add in my script, which is called the My Menu Script. Let's type in My Menu, and you'll see the My Menu Script. And you can see now that the script has been added. So the script contains a couple commands that we need to invoke. So we're going to invoke the commands of the script by clicking on these buttons. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the button script here, the play button script. And you can see all play buttons have this button script, and it has this section called on click. List is empty. So what we're going to do is we're going to invoke something when they hit the play button. We're going to hit the play button, and we're going to drag in the object that controls the script that we want to play. In this case, or invoke. In this case, is the My Menu canvas. I'm going to drop it in there. And what do I want to invoke? I want to invoke the My Menu script, and inside there is a function called play game. So as soon as we click the play button, it's going to call my script. My script's going to call the play game button, and the play game button will basically start a scene that is called scene number 1. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the exit button, and I'm going to do something very similar. On the exit button, I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm going to drag the My Menu canvas into there, and I'm going to select the My Menu script, and there is a function called quit game. Okay. Now, the controls button does not necessarily have to do anything in terms of invoking anything on the script. All it needs to do is enable this control canvas. So we're going to click on the plus sign here. We're going to click on the control canvas and drag it into here. And the only thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the game object, and we're going to set it active. We're going to make it active. And we're going to click on the check button. So this happens when I click on controls, it's going to turn on the control canvas. But it also has to disable the main menu canvas. So we're going to click on the plus sign, and we're going to do the opposite for the main menu canvas. We're going to drag it over here. We're going to call the game object main function here, and we're going to click on set active, and we're going to disable the menu button. Let's go ahead and hit play and see if those work. I'm going to hit play. And right now the input system is not disabled, so let me go and disable it. All I did was turn off it visually, but I actually have to go in here and disable it. So this is what it should look like in game. So I'm gonna go back and hit play now. And I'm gonna hit controls, and you can see that it does lead me to the other menu. Now I need to change this button to do the reverse. So I'm gonna go into the controls canvas and go into the return button, and where it says the on click, I'm going to do, again, those two things. I'm going to disable the control canvas when I'm on the return menu. I'm going to drag the control canvas into here, go to game object, set active. I'm going to deactivate it, so that means unchecked. And I'm going to go back to the main menu canvas, game object, and set it to active. So now I should be able to go back and forth between the two things. Now I'm going to hit play, and now I should be able to hit the controls, go into here, hit return to game, and get out of the game. And I should be able to hit play game, and it should start the game if my scene is called scene number 1. So I need to name a file scene number 1 in order for it to load. So let's actually go into my scene here, or go into somewhere in my folder where I have a scene that I could play. So I'm going to go to the scenes folder here, and I have a scene number 1 that I used in a previous tutorial. I'm just going to right click and I'm going to rename it scene 1. So again, my script only works if the name of the scene is called scene number 1. And now I should be able to start the game. So I'm going to hit play here. I'm going to click on play game. And it should open up scene number 1. Oh, so you can see right here, the error is I didn't actually add this to the build settings. So yes, even though you renamed it scene number 1, you have to go into File, you have to go into Build Settings. And you can see here that I have no scenes in the build. So I'm going to click on Add Open Scenes. It's going to add my menu scene. And I'm going to click on scene number 1. Going to open that real quickly. And I'm going to add that to the scene. So now there are 2 scenes in my folders, starting with the top one. So now I'm going to go back into my scene, go back into my menu scene. And now with this, I could actually hit play and test it out. So I'm going to hit play, click on play games, and you can see now that our game has started. And that's it, guys. The exit button does work, but it won't actually work in the play mode. It'll actually work when you turn it into a build. But we can go ahead and hit exit, but it won't do anything because we're not actually in a game to exit out of. But it does work. So our controls work, our play game works, and now we have a menu system that works and actually can start the game. So I'm going to do one more quick check and see if I can get rid of this blue screen because it is kind of bothering me here. Let's see if it's something to do with the colors here. Let's turn the alpha. Nope, that just turns the alpha of my screen off. I don't see anywhere else where it uses colors. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything here. And it doesn't do it to, let's see, actually, just go check the controls. Because the controls, is that also kind of a bluish color? Yeah, it has a bluish tint. So it's definitely something inside of here. Let's check the panel setting. Let's check the camera settings again. So blocking mask. I don't know if this is what I want. I don't know if it affects anything. Looks like some 2D and 3D settings. Screen space overlay. Actually, let's see what this is. Let's go ahead and go to world space or something. Let's see if this changes the color. Oh, no. So whatever that is definitely not it. So let's go back to overlay. Let's go back to camera. Let's see if this causes an issue. Nope, that also causes the blue issue. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Additional shaders. Let's go none. Nope, that didn't do it. And it ended up turning this stuff back to normal anyway. So I don't know. I don't know where to find it, guys. I remember doing this before and discovering it before, but I am at a loss right now why that screen is a blue color. It's got to be somewhere in the panel or the canvas. Or it might be actually my camera. Actually, I never checked my camera. Okay, I think I found it, guys. It's got to be somewhere in my camera. So it looks like inside of here we have a skybox. So I'm just going to use a solid color, and that looks like the color that it is. And I'm just going to turn it to nothing. Okay, or maybe we just use uninitiated or something. Let's hit play and see if that fixes it. Yep. So it looks like that was the reason why it was blue. It had like a skybox, and we can just go into solid color and choose 0 alpha. I think this will still make it not blue. Oh, no, it's still blue. So I don't know why it should be because I turned the alpha to 0. Let's try this again. So let's go maybe volume mask nothing. So at least we found it. It is in the environment here. It's supposed to have nothing because we have a skybox that has nothing and nothing, but it seems like it's a bug on the camera part because it's still showing something. So I'm just going to say uninitialize, and I think that makes it just the default colors. Okay, and there you have it, folks. We now have a menu system that works, and that will be for this video. I'll see you guys next video.